been a while since I made a video, and the reason is because of this nice little lathe right here. Back in November last year, the controller went out. Actually, it was probably more like October of last year or September, and then it took a while to get a controller for it. Bought a new controller for it, and in February the motor quit working, so I bought a new motor for it. And when the motor went, it evidently took the controller with it again. So I have been waiting since February to get a new controller for this lathe. It's not happening. Nova has no idea when they're going to have any controllers. They're not able to manufacture this lathe even because they can't get controllers, and the outlook is grim. Probably at the beginning of the year, next year is when they'll probably get controllers in for it. So I've been stagnant, not because the lathe doesn't run. It runs. That's the slowest belt speed, and that's it, because the control doesn't work to slow it down at all. So this is all I get. It's just not feasible to use it. The horsepower of this motor, which is only like a half horsepower, has got so much more torque than it had wound down over the past few years of using it. So it's a little scary. My intent at this point has been just to wait it out, but I feel like if I don't do something, I'm going to lose my ability to all the talent that I had somewhat picked up doing this little trade. So I decided to look around and get another lathe, and I'll show you all that shortly. But first I'm going to have to take this thing off the table so I can put another one on it. I did go with a lathe that's pretty much the same size, just because this is what I'm comfortable with. I have a small space in my garage. I don't have room for a bigger lathe. If I ever get a chance to build a shop, or if we end up moving somewhere where I have space for a shop, all the better. But if I don't, I'm quite comfortable with this size turning, and the new lathe will actually go a little larger. So I'll show you all that in a little bit. For now, I need to take this thing apart. It's bolted to this table, so I need to unbolt it from this table and take everything off of it that I can use, and move forward. So y'all just kind of hang in there and watch the show. Okay, that was pretty easy. Now I have to move the table over to my car to get the new lathe out, and I'll show it to you as soon as I get it out. Another thing about the other lathe, the Nova. So when the Nova went down on me, I went ahead and bought brand new brushes for the old motor, thinking that might work. That didn't work. And while it was down waiting on the new motor to get in, I went ahead and bought a new belt, bought new bearings, took the whole thing apart, put new bearings in it, and put a new belt on it. And so pretty much once I get the controller, if I can ever get a controller for it, I'm gonna have essentially a brand new lathe that I will either set up or end up selling. I'm not sure which I'll do yet. The new lathe, I have some things I'm going to do to it, but for this point I just bought the lathe and one other piece to go with it. And then next year, when I get my bonus, I will probably, it has a stand that's really nice, so I'll probably buy the stand, and I will probably buy the a couple other pieces that go with it that I think would make it really useful and make it easier to use around this small shop, including wheels so I can roll it around. But enough of that. Right now I'm going to use this table. I'm going to scoot it over and take care of that, and I'll reposition the camera so you guys can watch the antics. All right, everybody, here it is. I went with the Laguna 1216. I bought the outbound 10-inch extension so that I can actually do the 16 if I choose to. It could be a little dicey because of the 10-inch extension. I won't be able to use tailstock support when I'm turning, so I'll have to make sure, however I've got it secured, it'll be secured very well so that it doesn't have a chance of flying off. But I look forward to giving that a try. Laguna also makes several other things that go with this. They make a very nice stand that has a tool holder in it. You can also get wheels for it, which I intend to do so that I can move it around and make it easier to clean up the garage/shop. The 20-inch outboard extension they make is for this side, but I've already seen other people who've taken it and used it on outboard as well. So, and with the 20-inch, I might be able to put a tailstock on it. We'll have to wait and see. I didn't buy that piece yet. Like I said, I'm going to be waiting to get that. There's a light that mounts, a really nice light that mounts on it, so I'm going to get that. Get the stand and get the 20-inch extension for it down the road. Other than that, the nice thing about this is my chuck that I currently have, all my tapers will all work on this lathe, so I didn't have to spend as much money as I did the first time around, because everything else, my Nova chuck, everything else is going to fit on this lathe. So, but it is much beefier. It's amazing. So I went from a 3/8 tool rest support to a 1-inch tool rest support, and everything else about it is just, it's massive. And we'll get to unboxing it here and taking it out and seeing what we've got. And I don't know if I'm going to drill it and bolt it down. I think for now I'm just going to set it on here because it's heavier, see how it goes without bolting it down. And if I have to bolt it down, I will. I'll make new holes since I doubt mine are going to line up. I don't see any way possible for that to happen. So we'll go from there. So let's get to unboxing this thing. All right, quick little walk around as it sits. Nice control feature. It'll go as slow as 50 RPMs. You can see there, off, 50, and then up to 545 on this belt. And then there's two more belts which take it up to 3,600 RPMs. But even at that, there's no vibration. It is smooth as silk, which is kind of nice. So, and then forward, reverse, all the good things that go along with that. Next, I'll put the outbound bed extension on it and see how that goes. And then we'll be getting close to probably firing it up a little bit. We'll see here. Two doors. This is kind of cool. So the belt changes here, and it's just a matter of doing this. Change the belt, put it back. So pretty easy. I kind of like that. I like a lot of it about this, and it is, as you can tell, a lot beefier than this guy down here under the table now. And weighs a lot more, and I think should last a lot longer, should be a lot more durable. So let me set it back up and we'll put the bed extension on it. All right, that installed pretty easy. Along with that, I got a, is it a banjo that I can put on this tool rest for outbound turning, and this adapter, which will allow me to use the same threads. And since it's outbound and you have to do it in reverse, it's got 4 set screws in it to hold it in place so it doesn't come loose. I don't know if I told y'all this or not, but it's 6:30, 7 o'clock in the evening, still right at 100 degrees here in Texas. So the next step is, since I haven't been turning, I haven't set up the air conditioner that I've got for out here. That'll be the next step. It'll be set up the air conditioner so that I can have some kind of air when I'm out here working on this. I can't wait to get started, to finish the project that was on the lathe, and to test it out with a few other things and see how it goes. The motor, so I'm told, has got a, the torque on it is consistent. So if I'm turning at 50 RPMs or I'm turning at 3,600 RPMs, the torque is supposed to be staying the same so you don't lose torque with speed. I'm not sure how they do it. It's in electronics, but it hopefully will do that. I saw a guy turn a 16-inch or 15-inch bowl with it, and it slowed down, but it didn't slow down as mine did turning 10-inch bowls. So all in all, it's going to be a big benefit to me, I think. So, and I gotta admit, I kind of like the Lagunas. I thought they were pretty nice lathes, and if anybody's got any feedback on this lathe in particular, let me know. If there's something I need to know about it I hadn't found, because quite honestly I didn't find anything negative about it. I just found that people wanted to compare it to bigger lathes because of all the accessories that it has with it, and it's not meant to be a bigger lathe. It's meant to do exactly what it does, which is pretty much anything I do. I'm not looking to turn, 24-inch bowls. Not at this point. I've still got a lot to learn with what I've got going on now, so I don't need that in my life. And again, I don't have the space for it. This should prove to be enough of a learning experience for me. I will say this, I think one of the next things I'm going to purchase when I get a chance is something that's intrigued me, and this comes from Carl Jacobson and Bruce. I can't remember Bruce's last name. but they both are using the Niles offset jig, and that intrigues me to no end. I am looking forward to buying one of those, hopefully, and putting it into play. But that, again, will probably be next year. I've got to relearn what I've kind of forgotten, and learn how to do things on this lathe as opposed to another lathe. But everything on this is just so much smoother. My old lathe, it took a lot to get it to move, and I kept it sanded and kept the wax on it, and it still was a pain to move anything on it. This one doesn't have that problem, and it locks a lot better. So hopefully it will assist, and we'll go from there.